this button.
Hello, I'm Donald Trump, and you're listening to my friend TJ and the liberal Coach Casey.
I love watching dudes pound other dudes, man.
Why am I gay? I don't know. It's all this stuff in a row. It means more like a dirt fruit.
Monday morning papers.
Please buy a paper from me so I can get me something to read.
Just a paper boy. But paper is everything I'm not.
Extra, read all about it. Gather round, everybody.
Here's the problem. I don't know where to stop it.
I'm gonna tell you a story.
Skinman, villain in disguise.
Voted the number 2 podcast to listen to while you're sitting on the toilet. It's the Middle of the Road podcast with TJ and Coach Casey.
It's the number 2 podcast to do number 2 to?
Yes.
That's wonderful.
And you don't have to wear a tutu.
But you can, and we will not judge. This is not the Pat McAfee show. I know. I'm sorry if you just tuned in. Yes, intro's exactly the same. We have an extra cast member, and I'm standing. The reason I'm standing is because our opening segment is brought to you by Blue Chew. Skinman, you want to pop a Blue Chew and do the podcast?
What is a Blue Chew?
It makes your wiener harder longer. So we'll have an awesome podcast if we both pop a Blue Chew.
So we're popping boner pills on the show tonight?
Why do you think I'm standing? I've already taken one. No, I haven't. That was better. God, this is going to be a problem. I got a new mic, and apparently when I touch it, it's going to make a fuzzy noise, and I touch it a lot. So we'll probably have to switch while you're doing a news story.
You better go ahead and take that boner pill so you have something to do.
That's true. I'll be touching it all show in that case. Well, today is 6/11. TJ's not here. He was supposed to let us call, or we were supposed to call him, but he decided he's not gonna. He said, no, I'm getting home early and I'm spending time with my kids who I haven't seen in a couple months, and it's more important than you guys. And I get it. I don't. I mean, he's off the show now, but I mean,
Well, it's good you're not going to hold a grudge.
yeah, I'm fine with it. I hate him, but no, I understand completely. I don't care. He wanted to do the show all weekend, and to be honest with you, I kind of blew him off. I was busy. It was my 21-year anniversary this weekend or Friday, so we, did a lovey-dovey weekend spent together. Went out and ate dinner, and then we went shopping for me on Saturday. It was a great day. Went and got some adult clothes. Have you been shopping lately? Do you? I mean, you don't strike me as a guy that goes to like Kohl's a lot, or
I think I've been to Kohl's twice.
ever?
Yeah.
Or since last show?
Ever.
Okay. Where do you? I mean, does your wife get like 90% of your clothes since you guys have been together?
Yeah.
Me too. I went into my closet the other day, and every one of my shirts. Now this is a new shirt. In my defense, I was left unsupervised, but the perfect show shirt. I went in my closet and all my shirts are sports, like Sunday
tops.
Yeah, Sunday shirts, which means they're starting to get holy because I've had them so long. All the necks are rotted out. So I went and got just a bunch of plain shirts, different colors, nice fit, longer because I've gotten fat. Even like this shirt's a little bit slimming. You can barely tell I'm 400 pounds right now. I mean, this thing hides it well. I don't know what this angle is going to look like. I brought the camera over here, but I find myself when it's just me and him turn around. So you get to see him, and really you get to, if I had a butt, you get to see my best view, but I don't. So you just
keep on working on it because your cheeks kind of look like the label on the Campbell's soup.
Are you saying because they're red or because they're chubby?
They're chubby.
Yeah, this haircut, if you were watching, and I'm sorry you are, is a new haircut, and it came along with it a beard shave, and it made my face and head look so much fatter. I think the longer hair and the bigger beard hit it well.
Yeah.
I look obese. I get it. The camera, I don't look bad. So if you're watching on camera, you're like, what's this guy talking about? He don't look good, but he's not as bad as he says. But in person, my head's, it looks like I have a size 12 head now.
If I shaved my head and my beard, I'd look like King Bundy.
I was going to come in and tell this story almost like TJ would about my haircut. I get up Saturday morning. I decide I want a haircut. I'd been trying to book it with 2 people I have. Can't get on the schedule. The lady I've been going to I haven't really liked anyway. I said, screw it. We're going to go old school. We're going Great Clips. And you really, on a Saturday morning, you really flip the coin going to a Great Clips.
Yeah.
But I would say 70% of the time a Great Clips haircut is acceptable. You never leave there going, oh, my God, that's the best haircut I've ever got. But usually you leave there going, unlike me this time, leave there going, I need to go find somewhere else to get a haircut. So I know the manager of this particular establishment, so if her and her husband are listening, you'll know who I'm talking about. But I go in, and there's 3 young ladies cutting hair, and this one gets done cutting hair, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe that's fine. The haircut she did before might have just been an accident. Surely this one will be better.
You watched her mess up somebody's hair and then sit in her chair?
Well, not really. Like the kid, it was a kid, and I thought maybe he had requested this haircut. I thought maybe he didn't like. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, give me the Charlie Brown.
I didn't really see. I just seen the very last product of him walking by as she was calling me. And so when she calls me up, she says, "Sir, would you ready for a haircut?" And I said, yes, ma'am. And I'm not transphobic. I'm not anything. So this is where I'm going to come in and say, I said, you know what? This dude's going to cut my hair great, or this lady, or whatever. I don't know. But this person is going to cut my hair wonderfully is what I kept telling myself. And it started out odd with the conversation because this person is my height, but I don't know, very large. And like, belly is kind of way out in front. So this comes into the story what's part of the uncomfortable part of this haircut. I have never literally had to mold my body kind of like they pulled me over against that to like cut to do the side of my head. So anyways, that we sit down and
you're not joking.
No, I'm not joking.
Oh.
We sit down and the first thing is like, she says, "You like this heat?" And I said, "Oh man, not really. It was 92 already, and it was 10 o'clock or 9:30." I said, "Man, I don't." And she's like, "I love it." And then I got that first smell, and I said, "Oh, you slept in it," or I'm like, here's the problem with people that love this weather is a lot of times they smell like it, and so that we're just off to a lot, and it's fine. A little bit jealous of her 5 o'clock shadow. A little, better than mine. Again, I know all these things sound horrible and I'm canceled and I get it. None of those things matter to me. I accept every one of those. The only reason I'm mad is because of the haircut. I explained how I want my haircut. Pretty simple, decent fade. Tallest you can with fingers or longest clipper. That's all I wanted.
Yep.
And faded nicely. That's all I needed.
Yep.
And her fingers were thicker than mine. But they were weird because they were kind of like giant candy corns. So they made...
What are you referring to?
Well, so when you cut somebody's hair and if you cut it to length, when you grab their head, you cut along. But if this part is an inch thicker than this part, I don't know how... I've never seen nothing like this. Like up to first knuckle.
So did you guys have a
But my hair...
whole finger conversation while you were there?
No, I just seen like the first couple moves into my hair while she's cutting it, and I can clearly see a wave forming because as she cuts along her fingers, they're not level because one part touching my head is an inch higher than the other part. I don't know how to describe it, but it ends up very uneven, and I kind of pointed out, I just said, hey, let's just go to clippers. It's pretty uneven. And I think it'll make it easier, honestly. You can go, I don't like bangs, actually. I like them gone. So it'll be easier. Let me fix it. I said, okay. So we go back to the scissors for 10 more minutes. And is that better? I said, well, if you were going for more uneven, yes, it's better. I didn't say that. I said, I said, it's still pretty uneven. Can we just do clippers? And she's like, you said you wanted longest finger length. And she's kind of getting frustrated at me at this point. And she's like, I'm going to give you longest finger length. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then like goes around and can't even, I don't know how to describe it, but bad fade. So this haircut is mine. I came home, went to town with the clippers, fixed the fade a little bit, clippered the whole top, cleaned it up a little bit. It was worse. So anyways.
So you're wearing a hat tomorrow to work?
No, I went open head all week, man. This is how I got this haircut on Saturday, man. So I've been 2 days, I'm open heading it, man. They're just I've had a couple compliments. I'm like, one guy's like, because I called it out in our manager meeting Monday morning. I'm like, got a bad haircut. Somebody says something, that's fine. I get it. You know, mine will grow back. Two of the managers can't grow hair. So that's always before they can even go, I go preemptive airstrike and I say, just remember mine grows back. And so that it's ixnayed, like Derek turns around and just, you know, you can't say nothing, man. What are you going to say? Because you know I'm coming after you. So that's my haircut. Sorry if I offended anybody. I will get a haircut by anybody. I have zero qualms. It was a horrible conversation. I stopped talking early on because I was instantly kind of horrified by where the haircut started because I've just never seen it like start with a bang and then start working through them. It was just the most odd haircut. And we get done and it's a $16 haircut. You okay with everything? I said, not really. She said, can I fix it? I just said, no, it's okay. And I gave her $20 and I left. She got a $4 tip. Yep. You know, I tried to not be difficult. If you're unhappy, you should say something. But me saying something made it worse. Like had I left it alone, I could have went back to, I'm sorry if you're listening, Jen. I keep looking on your schedule and you're booked way too far out. It was always our problem. I like to book an appointment like the day before or the day of. And when you're, and I understand that means you're a better place if you're booked 2 or 3 weeks out. That's why I get Great Clips haircuts. But I had found an awesome barber that started opening on Sundays. But then I started paying $45 for a haircut from somebody that just got out of Fantastic Sam's hair school. And because they lost all their good help. And then they went to a place where it was a $65 haircut. And I can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just rolling the dice on haircuts. That's why I go to 21st Street Barbershop. 21st and Tyler.
We talked about him. Remember when you were telling me the last story about him? That's when I came up with the free haircut. Yeah. You know, the universal barber discount where you go in and flip the palms over and you decide how expensive that haircut is, you know? So you're happy with the service you get at 21st Barber?
Yeah.
Old guy?
There's 4 different dudes there, and they all know what they're doing.
Okay. What's your haircut run you?
$6.
They do the beard?
Yeah, another 6.
6 and 6.
I think it's 10 and 6.
Do you think they would do the same for me for having a full head of hair? Do you think you get a discount for?
I don't get a discount for
partial, for not having to
half off.
I mean, yeah, because I could probably I think I could give you a decent haircut. This weekend made me think about going to barber school. I don't know if 42 bad feet, a messed up thumb is a bad time to start barber school, but I just think it'd be a cool gig.
Actually, I didn't get a haircut. I just had the beard trimmed. That was August.
Okay. TJ's gone. He's not going to call in. I thought maybe he'd listen in the beginning and then call in. Shopping, clothes. You ready for some breaking news, my friend? I'm going to do this one.
Okay.
The first one's mine. The second one's yours. We had a sounder and everything ready. Breaking news. This just in from the news desk. Joey Chestnut banned from Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Take it in. Take a second. A national travesty has occurred, one that United States may never recover from. On Tuesday, 16-time Nathan's hot dog eating champion and the peak of human athleticism, Joey Chestnut, was banned from competing in the hot dog competition he made famous. According to the New York Post, Major League Eating banned Joey Chestnut from competition in their contest because of his endorsement deal with a vegan food company. That's why I had to do it. This is the shocking revelation to the world of competitive eating. The all-time greatest dog eater can no longer eat dogs. Chestnut signed a deal with Impossible Foods, who have a plant-based hot dog. It's okay. And their demand after he signed the deal, including eating unbranded dogs, something I don't know. So 2 decades, this guy has been a chestnut, a chess piece of eating hot dogs, and we'll see. I'm sure they'll get him back in.
So is he hot dog king?
He's the Wiener King. Yeah.
Okay. Is that what they call it, the Wiener King?
We've talked about it on the show, dude.
What's the crown look like?
This guy's taking. Oh yeah, it's a freaking big wiener, man. This guy's taking buns and dogs and dipping them in water. His face is all covered. And I mean, he ate like freaking 70.
So he growls while he eats?
Oh, dude, these guys get it. I mean, the chick one is gross. It's like the beginning of it when like they just start shoving wieners in their mouth. You're like, you'd think it, yeah, right where that sounded. You're like, this is awesome.
Too many teeth.
Nope, too many teeth, or not enough teeth on some of them, and and too many wieners. No, it's. I almost puke every time I watch the hot dog eating contest. Not just the women's, the men's, everybody's. It is horrifying, just watching them down. And they're all, their face is covered in it. It's all over the table, and they're dipping it in water and shoving them in their mouth, and it's just, I can't do it. But now I'm ready for some skin news.
We could have been YouTubers.
Dude, have you? This kind of came when I seen this story. This goes along with like all the things you like. If we would have just done them, like Jackass when it first came out, dude, we were doing so much stupid shit growing up. We didn't video it, and nobody cared, Right. But if I could have got yeah. So this is just picture me and Skin Man, like getting on the forefront of YouTube, and now a story comes out and go.
YouTuber charged for having a helicopter blast a Lamborghini with fireworks, authorities say.
Dude, we do so much cool shit.
A YouTuber who specializes in car shenanigans is facing federal charges after authorities said he directed a video in which 2 people in a helicopter blasted fireworks at a speeding Lamborghini from above.
And famous YouTuber Skin Man is known for his antics like this. This is not the first, but the one that has probably caught the most attention.
Alex Choi, 24, is charged with causing the placement of an explosive or incendiary device on an aircraft. The Department of Justice announced Thursday, if convicted, Choi faces a maximum of 10 years in federal prison.
Oi, Choi.
For shenanigans. You want to talk about pranks.
Dude, how long in prison? 10 years?
Yeah.
Whew. I don't know. What's the dollar bills if they came to you? It would be way different now than if they would have came to me at 22 and offered me it. But what's the dollar bill that you would have, there's a 50% chance you're getting 10 years in jail.
Oh, $500,000.
That's your dollar bill?
Yep.
Now, do you do it? So is this the $500,000 you get it after the 10 years, or do you give this to your wife if you're going in?
On the, I guess that'd be the incarceration day. Just hit it in my bank account.
Okay. And she gets to live off of it while you're in there?
Yes.
Pay bills and all that? What if you get out?
And she moved?
Or there's like $12 left, and she's like, when are you starting back to work? Or is there anybody willing to offer you another 10-year thing? I mean, I missed you. But, man, I think mine would have to be like some sort of number. Like I'd have to sit down with my financial advisor and say, what is that number? But I think it's like 2.7 puts me to be able to retire. It, like just live how I'm living. Not stupid. Obviously, I can't have a lot of complications, but you give me that, and I could retire at 50 and I think I could coast. I'm only going to make it to 60, so I think I could. No, I'd have a damn good 2 years or 10 years if that were the case. But no, I think it'd have to be at least that kind of money that, because I'll just look at it like this. This is my last 10 years working, or whatever that is. I get to retire at 52. I come out and I'll learn a badass skill in prison, like preaching, woodworking, like be that, I don't think they make plates in prison no more. Maybe I'll come out and just start a laundry service, maybe I'll just be that badass laundry, or I'll develop my own freaking.
Work for the Jeffersons.
I'll develop my own laundry service in fucking prison, or laundry soap in prison. Getting chemicals in, call it like mixed cannabis. We wouldn't do that. It'd be a waste. Clothes would always come out smelling like it. It'd be stupid. All right. Was that the end of the story?
A spokesperson from the Department of Justice said that Choi appeared in court on Thursday, and a federal magistrate judge ordered him released on $50,000 bond. His arraignment is scheduled for July 2nd. No plea was taken.
Yeah. I think I don't know, man. That dude probably makes bank. And he'll get out with less than that. He's probably got good lawyers. Maximum's 10. If he gets anything, it's 2.
Oh, he has over 1 million followers.
Oh, well, that's good still, but I don't know what kind of money that equals. It just depends what advertising, what views he gets. 1 million followers is a lot, don't get me wrong. I just don't know what that transcribed. Is that a $50,000 a year gig? And, maybe he does Instagram. Who knows? I don't know. I'm disappointed because I've got, we've got 48 followers on YouTube. So far we've made like 11 cents. Actually, I think we owe him 11 cents. Never mind. We're generating so little views, we actually have to start paying for our broadcasting time on YouTube, which is free.
Yeah.
They're like, well, you could just leave. I'm like, no, I'll pay the 11 cents. It's fine. Somebody should get to watch this. 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks? 2 weeks now almost. Still not drinking, except we went out to eat, and it was just like a habit. They came over. What do you want to drink? I said, Bud Light. And then they walked off, and Amy was kind of looking at me, didn't say nothing. They sat it down, and I just looked at it. And I didn't drink all of it. I drank about 3/4 of it.
Cheat day.
Yeah. I still feel like that's fallen off the wagon. I mean, it was sucked as I didn't even get a buzz because I'm a week sober. I mean, you're not going to – my tolerance hasn't lowered that much. So I am sustaining from drinking tonight. I'm just drinking regular Mio and water. That brings me to number 2 of this. I quit the medicine. We talked about that last week. It has been a freaking wild ride, dude. This shit, some people have different effects to coming off medicines. The last 2 I've came off of pretty bad withdrawal, man. I was on this one for like 4 years, and it's a seizure medicine, but it's like for nerves, and it's also for anxiety. So it was actually prescribed to me, I think, for my nerves, but I think they were trying to do it for anxiety to get me to leave them alone. Like, the pain's driving me crazy.
And what are the side effects?
Your normals, your nausea. So it's an anti-seizure medicine. So if you've taken it because you have seizures, it helps you not get seizures. But if you've never had a seizure and you take it, one of the side effects, withdrawal, are seizures. Now, the study did not say whether that was all pre-seizurous patients that now are coming off, or if these are people like me that are just on for leg pain, and then they take themselves off and they just start getting seizures. They didn't say that. Haven't had one, though, so I'm okay. But like crazy headaches, just super tired, nausea, and it just comes and goes, and it hits you like sweating your balls off out of nowhere. And, I'm sitting in a meeting the other day, and all of a sudden, you can't think about anything else going on. I don't really hear it. I'm just freaking drenched with sweat. Like, I had a gray shirt on under my polo. It just soaked, dude. I'm like sitting there, and the guy looks over, and my forehead's just draining, and it's like menopause, but I don't know. Sleep's been kind of shitty because again, one of the other side effects is pain because your body's kind of got used to it. So now I don't know if it's extra pain or you just go back to feeling the pain you didn't before. So I'm back to the kind of the cramping, and the medicine I think was kind of working for its problem. It just had 2 major effects, and there's an update on my marathon running. we're back to running sprints. No. I'd say we pulled an 800 or, if you're familiar with running, we made it 2 times around the track, and I finished the race. It was glorious. I remember what it was like. So for those that listened last week, we had a long segment on me running, and that was in a sexual reference is what that was too. And like could go run for a long time. I just could never finish the race. It wasn't that I wasn't trying. I was trying real hard, and I was trying so hard that I just kept going. And, sometimes you stop and the finish line's still just up no matter how far, you're like, I was going to run a 5K and I got past the 5K and it's like, okay, there's the finish line. I'll run it. Nope. Just kept kind of moving the finish line in front, Yep. But
Just chasing the sun.
Yeah. Now it's kind of like, it was like, you remember those like whiskey nights where she's bored, but get over with it type thing. And it was, I think it was going to lead to a divorce. Honey, I know you weren't going to say it. I know you wouldn't admit it, but I know it was getting hard. No. This segment also was brought to you by Blue Chew, the pill that makes you harder for longer. I think I'm nailing their freaking ad bids, though. I think they're going to like these. I think when they listen back, if they listen back, they're going to love these. Couple more things. We'll do one more thing, and then we'll get back to news. I had a road rage incident last Thursday, coming home for work, and about a mile and a half from my exit, and I see a car merging on. So a car comes over. This truck had hauled ass beside me a second ago. The car was not trying to cut them off. They were trying to let somebody merge. It was a carload of young ladies.
Yeah. And
this guy proceeded to get up beside him, try to run him off the road. Well, another car was kind of merging, so he had to pull back off. And then so I can kind of work in, and at this point he's behind him, riding 2 inches from him, honking at him, flipping him off out the window. And I'd say the oldest girl in the car, because I ended up stopping and talking to them, was probably 18, maybe 19. The youngest girl in the car was 14 or 15.
Yeah.
And I was able to punch it and get up right beside them to where he couldn't. And so he's jumping over behind me now, thinking I'm going to get around him. Nah. So we get all the way to where it merges to one lane, and I pop up in front of him real quick. And then I come up, and as we're getting off the ramp here at 235 and 47th or whatever, 130, you know what I'm talking about, right there at 47th and whatever. He pulls up beside him, is cussing him and screaming at him.
Yeah.
Fuck the cops, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, they did, from what I seen, they didn't do anything. So they're still kind of rolling, and I stop, and they see it, and they stop, and he gets up beside me. Dude, I'm like, motherfucker, pull the fuck over. I'm like, you want somebody to fucking fight? How about not a carload of girls? And I just lost my shit, dude. I'm like, you're a fucking bitch. And I went to town, and this dude's fucking pulling off, and he was in the middle lane like he's going to go forward and go to whatever the breakfast place or Arby's over there. Instead, he jumps over right and punches it off. And I pulled up into the Quick Trip. Girls followed me in there thanking me. They're freaking out, thinking this guy's going to beat their asses, and they're just driving along. And so I have not threatened to beat anybody up in a very long time, but I protect. What I thought is that's my daughter and some of her friends driving around, or my son, or your daughter and her friends just their first time in Wichita, just trying to fucking function, Yeah. People piss me off driving, but the older I get, the more understanding I get. Now, if that same thing happened to me, and that was a 40-year-old guy, I'm flipping him off and trying to. No, I'm joking. That was my road rage, and now on a little lighter subject. You get it queued up. I can't get the button. Here, we'll just do this for fun.
Beans more like a dirt fruit.
That's where we left on the other one. God, my fingers aren't working. I said get one queued up. I was giving you time. I didn't give him enough time. Hold on, let's do it again.
No, hold on.
News.
City of the Year.
Man, this one got you riled to start the show. I like it. And we had, dude, I am so mind blown. We had completely different takes on this.
Condo building to be demolished for blocking local scenery.
a lot of places that wouldn't matter. You live in Kansas, you're like, what local scenery?
A Japanese development firm announced it will demolish a nearly completed condominium building after neighbors complained it was blocking their view of Mount Fuji.
This is where I come out. We'll let you go on a little more, and then we pitch my idea, and I thought you were going to be in on it. Apparently you're not.
The 10-story, 18-unit building will be demolished just weeks before the first residents were due to move their units.
How effed up is that, man? I wonder if they get anything back, or they just obviously not.
Yep, moving in 2 weeks. It's going to be great. I've got a great view of Mount Fuji.
Yeah, let's drive by it. What's that? Why would they? It's weird. My new apartment, there's a wrecking ball sitting outside of it. I don't. Do they use wrecking balls for a building now?
I think sometimes they use that in construction.
Okay, I wonder what. Maybe they're like they use that to like lift stuff up to the people and swing it over to areas they can't get to. Okay. This could be plausible.
The developer had earlier made concessions, including reducing the plan from 11 stories to 10 and reducing the height of each floor. Locals complained it would block their view of Mount Fuji, the tallest mountain in the country.
I mean, we can still see like 90% of it, but we like to see 100% of it. So, I mean, all like the lower part it's blocking is the forest, but I still like to see it.
Yeah.
So here's my idea. I wanted to go around. This is our thing. We're like a National Preservation Society for views. And we go to places, and if a building we don't like, we could also use this to just go after people we don't like, houses and shit. Like that tree over there is actually a Kansas monument, and your neighbor has lost their view of it. You either need to lower your house to 5 foot total height, or we're going to have to demolish it.
Yeah.
You know, we go around to buildings and, like.
And that's great. That'd be great because the world is overpopulated.
Well, yeah, and I want to be able to see shit,
Yeah. And we're not going to warn the people that live there.
But
We're
you
just
read it
gonna
as
bring it down.
you started out as some cunt bitched about her view getting blocked, and now they're going to tear it down. And you know whoever that lady was one rich lady.
Yeah.
If she had enough, she's like, what they're not saying is basically they said, whatever you have and you'll make in the next 10 years, we'll buy it.
Right.
Just tear it down.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how. That's just crazy, though. Imagine how many projects that have went on throughout America had extreme complaining, like when people's houses get torn down to build highways. And had we just listened to those whiners, we wouldn't have the highways and byways and the things that we have.
Right.
We wouldn't have a McDonald's off the side. We'd have shitty housing.
That'd actually be a good thing.
Not having a McDonald's.
Right.
I had a 20-piece nuggo the other day, man, and
On purpose?
yeah, I got every once in a while I do the buy one get one for $1, so I buy the spicy chickener.
Chicken. There it is. That's the.
All right,
that's
the sounder. That's okay. I said a nuggo, but I didn't get in the chicken in that one.
Right.
Okay.
I've been sitting on this one the whole show.
All right.
Okay. And why do they call it chicken soup?
I don't know. Why do they call it chicken soup?
Because if they called it cock noodle soup, it wouldn't be as appetizing.
I think you're wrong.
You know what I'm talking about with the cock noodle?
No.
It's like after you come, you got that dangler. You got the cock noodle.
No. That's literally the first time I've ever heard that. Is that what that setup was all for? I mean, you nailed it. I'd like to apologize. That's our inner TJ without TJ. No. I've never heard of that. No. I've heard of a lot of new things lately, man, and that's one of them.
Yeah, cock noodle.
Never. I call that like a dribbler, or, I call that a cliffhanger. Sometimes
That's not a clip.
sometimes I even call it Sylvester. So hey, there's old Sylvester Stallone hanging on. I might do some of that, but never. See, now you're good. That one might stick. Called what you got dribbling off there? An old Sylvester Stallone's hanging on. Oh, you got a cliffhanger? Yeah, I got a cliffhanger. That'd be more for like our ex showmate when he'd crap every time. There's a good chance he's got quite a few Sylvester Stallones hanging on, a bunch of cliffhangers. Could dabble off at any time.
Oh, you mean cock noodles?
And this time, yeah, or shit noodles in this case. What you watching?
Oh, we watched a movie, Madam Web,
Okay.
and it's kind of a Marvel, because that doesn't make sense because Spider-Man's DC. But anyway, it's kind of a superhero movie without the actual superheroes. It's like
It's got Mike Epps in it.
it's almost like a pilot.
The whole thing is.
It's like the next movie's going to be better.
But so none of them like really had superpowers in this.
One of them had.
Madam Web.
I don't know if that's her or her mom.
Okay. All right. So, but which? Well, we don't want to ruin it. We don't want to. I'll never watch it, so you could ruin it for me. But we might have somebody that would listen. I mean, so is it the young one or the old one that had web powers?
It was the oldest.
All right. Okay. How long was this movie? If you were, and
Like an hour and a half, something like that.
and how many thumbs up out of 4 would you give it?
2.5.
2.5 thumbs up. Okay.
It was very campy, but
Yeah. Now we broke it. All right.
what'd you do?
I don't know, man. This is crazy. We're gonna have to. Well, next show, if you come back, a lot of you don't get it, understand, don't care. But if you come back, I will be back to the old mic. I will not. I did this to block my view because my beard was gone, my hair's gone. I just thought maybe people would tune in and think, "Who's that new roundhead dude doing the show?" He's just as bad as the guy before.
The microphone would have to be wider than your face.
That's true. I could get like 3 of them up here, and you'd still.
You might want to go with 5.
I could. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for helping build my confidence.
You're welcome.
Yes. Do not adjust your cameras. That is 1 head, not 3 you see in front of you. What? That's that all you? That's what you watched? Anything else new? Any documentaries or anything? It's okay. You only gotta have one. I'm not.
Oh, there was kind of like this murder mystery,
Okay.
and this 14-year-old kid had tried to kill her parents because they were too strict,
All right. Now you're talking.
and her dad survived and told on her.
Oh shit.
So she was
Goddamn dads.
her and her friends, and they all got in a lot of trouble.
Along those lines, I have watched like the ABC or CBS 2020 thing or whatever that is, and they did one on a lady. I like to watch like 40 minutes of these, but not finish, not actually find out what the actually happened.
Yeah.
So I get all the story, and like I'm like, this bitch is so guilty, and there's a chance she won't be. So I won't want to watch the end. So I usually find something to leave it, and then I come back, and like even my wife, or I'll turn it. And she'll be sitting in the other room listening to the whole episode while, it's like her. And then she's like, what happened to that show? She's like, what happened? I'm like, oh, yeah, she was guilty. Like, oh, did you listen to it? No. The first 40 minutes told me she was guilty. They never changed it at the end, do they? Oh, they always do. But it was some lady that her husband, they'd capsized while they were kayaking, and his body was not found. His kayak was found with the plug missing. They had determined that the boat sinking was not what actually, I guess I don't know if they determined that. The story was, but I listened to 30 minutes of them saying, so you pulled the plug out on Tuesday, so you guys knew when you went out Saturday? She's like, well, no, I think, the plug was out after we got done.
Now, this man that's quote-unquote missing, he's a genius.
Never found the body that I heard either.
He moved away. He got away from her.
Yep. And framed her. Freaking pulled his own plug. He had his buddy fly in with a helicopter right before he shot fireworks at a Lamborghini. Caused up a big waves, kicked those kayaks over. He jumped in. He had another buddy down there waiting on him with one of those underwater little things. And they freaking zip-zoed around the cove and came out, and she's... now she's sitting there like getting blamed for killing this dude, and he's straight, man. He's living off his freaking YouTube money. He did just get in trouble, we heard, but I mean, that's okay. 10 years. Good vacation from her, it sounds like. No.
Well, the hearing's not until July 2nd, so
There's a chance. We'll keep you updated. I've been watching. I'm still on the Trailer Park Boys kick, but they've got some other spinoffs, and I've only got I'm just getting ready to start the very last season 12. So I started watching. They have all these spinoffs, like they go to Europe and do these. Have to go do these little events, go to different cities to make money to get to go to the next one. And I just watched the one in U.S. and it's got Tommy Chong in it, Snoop Dogg, Dennis Rodman. I mean, a ton of celebrities, and these guys are going around just doing stupid shit, and good show. So, and then I really got into.
Can you imagine seeing all of them on one sidewalk?
Oh man,
it's like, dude, look at this, look at this.
All of them together, I know, dude. That'd be a freak. And they've all been somewhere together, I'm sure. Whenever they were cutting up babies or whatever TJ thinks they do to stay young. Well, he's the one that says they eat babies like the celebrities do to stay young. That's why Willie Nelson's still alive. And but also, so I've been on a social media break for the most part. So our show performances dropped. I've been about a month and a half. I've just kind of said, screw it. I might get on for 2 to 3 minutes. The only one I'll get on, because a lot of people have been sending me snappies, actually just 2 people, TJ and Stevie V from Three Wheel Bicycle Podcast, which is our other sponsor today, along with For Music Lovers Only, and Blue Chew. But so I miss, all those like crazy jobs around the world where like it's like Indian dudes mounting tires and shit, like Stone Age but it's like yesterday. I watched literally probably an hour and a half of videos the other night of Indian dudes mounting tires on different stuff, and it was all these different ways that they do it. And
they use the big crowbar spoons, and their feet.
Yeah, dude, it's insane. And these massive tires, and they're yanking them all. Like truck will pull up, and there's this insane highway at this one, and they're going by like crazy, and this truck pulls up, and in this case, they're patching a tire, but they have to pull it all the way off, and they heat up freaking rubber, and they put all over it, and then they cut new grooves into it. And this is this is all in live action. They freaking get this thing back on, they put whatever their gas in there, boom, blow that fucker up, and it's back on there, and they're mounted up, and it's out of there. And it was like 6 minutes, and I
can't, a pit crew.
I can't go. I don't get stuff done at a service shop, but like my wife, an oil change takes fucking 2 hours, or I was out back finishing a beer. Well, these freaking Indian dudes changed it with a pickaxe, a freaking spoon, and a freaking can of hairspray, dude. And they cut new tread in the tire. So what's your deal, I do believe America's falling behind. Every time I watch those videos, I watched this video of these dudes in Peru, and I'd watched clips of it before, so then you want to I want to see this. And it's these guys stacking grain. And I got into some competition where this thing would come off conveyor, and these guys got so bored with their job and they're so good at it, they'd catch 4 60-pound bags of grain on like one shoulder, walk them over and dump them, stack them perfectly. And there was 3 of them just in a rotation. And like one guy wasn't as good, so they're laughing at him while they're carrying 240 pounds of grain on one shoulder that they caught that fell off the conveyor. And these guys are freaking 63 pounds a piece, and they only get to eat once a week. And that's why they're so damn good at what they do. And they make great money, I'm sure, 8 cents an hour. No, I don't know. But it was crazy. It intrigues me. Do you ever watch any of that crap?
Yeah.
You see like the little cuts, and then so you're like, I've never actually actively searched Indians dudes changing tires.
Yeah.
And the first search, I had to narrow it down. But, then there's so many videos out there of it. So, Indian dudes stacking grain. You could pretty much put Indian dudes and then some crazy job versus America, and it's different. They fish. Man, they're like just throwing freaking harpoons at them and pulling up like 26 of them. And
there was a sledgehammer. It was like they put a sledgehammer at the end of a plastic pipe because it's super bending.
Yeah. Whoa. Right. Yeah, dude. Watching that guy
annihilate. Then it hits harder.
Yeah, and it takes the impact away from them. They're just annihilating brick with it. Is that what you're... Oh, yeah. I'd go watch those guys. And they could tear down a building faster than a crew with freaking tractors and front loader. Yeah. Yeah, that wrecking ball guy he was at lunch, and they already got 2 of the buildings tore down. They hire these guys to come tear down the Mount Fuji building while they were still rolling the wrecking ball down the thing. They're like, yeah, man, me and these rubber hammers, we got it, bud. We got it, man. So, well, messing with promoters got hijacked by TJ. We talked about it on one show. He wanted to do it. It wasn't so much me. I did not say no. I was intrigued to see what TJ would come up with. And for the most part, it was exactly what I thought TJ would come up with. But some of them were funny. But he wanted to play a game of, can you guess which one I did? Can you guess which one he did? And I think you'd be a good guest for this one. And we'll see. This is one of the, let's not start with that one because he does get a little bit better as he goes. Oh, damn it. I had a couple of them saved and then I messed with it. Here, we'll do one of mine real quick. Well, I ruined it, but this is an old one. Hello, how are you? No, well, actually, we'll ruin this. So you guess who this one is. Mark, this is Agent Simpson with Homeland Security. This message has been intercepted, and you have been flagged as a potential terrorist. An agent will be visiting your home shortly. He said, sir, I'm a professional podcast promoter. And he said, and then one of us said, Mark Ben, come on, not even a good attempt. That was, the guy's name's Mark Ben. And he said, do you have an Apple Podcast, Spotify? So there was two we each did one of those. Could you guess who did which one? One of them was, Mark, this is Agent Simpson with Homeland Security. This message has been intercepted and you have been flagged as a potential terrorist. The other one says, Mark Ben, ? Come on, that's not even a good attempt.
Oh, you said that.
Okay. That one's easy. They're just kind of simple. But he kind of, like I said, he hijacked it from me and it's fine. Hello. Response. Hey, baby. You looking hella good in that suit. Tadad, as what we're going to call him, says, how are you? I'm great. Just wondering if you're celebrating LGBTQRS month. Friend, I've identified some areas for improvement for your channel that could significantly enhance your performance and viewer engagement. Can I explain? Yeah,
Blue Chew has your answers.
Response, yeah, that's cool. But I would want to know is if you and your boyfriend march for Pride Month, or do you just hang flags at your house? And Tadad said both. And he said, tell me about your love story with your boyfriend. And so he just goes right into attack mode. I mean, that's TJ, obviously. So that's what I said. He just hijacked it. He's, this one was one where he finally got it. Hello there. Wishing you a day that as wonderful as you are. I have this thing where I get older, but it never wiser. Midnight becomes my afternoon. When my depression works the graveyard shift, all of the people I've ghosted stand there in the room. And they said, wow, those are heavy words. It sounds like you're grappling with some pretty intense feelings. I'm a digital marketing pro. I'm not going to read all this. It's 2.5 pages.
Good God.
How do you reach your target audience? Response. I should not have been left to my own devices. They come up with prices and vices. I end up in crisis. Tales as old as time. I wake up screaming from dreaming. One day I'll watch as you're leaving, cause you got tired of my scheming for the last time. Response: do you deal with music? TJ's response: sometimes I feel like everybody is a sexy baby and I'm a monster on the hill. Too big to hang out, slowly lurching toward your favorite city, piercing through the heart, but never killed.
Gonna do the whole song?
Impressive. Do you have a website for your podcast? Did you hear my covet narcissism? I disguise as, I don't know that word. Like some kind of congressman. Tale as old as time. I wake up screaming from the dreaming. Oh, yes, he does the whole song. And then finally, give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. And then the guy. So he's pulling up lyrics. So that is when he finally gets it. There is a lot of them where he's threatening Homeland Security, and you've been flagged as a terrorist, and this one. Hello, sir. Do you promote your Apple podcast on Spotify? I'm a professional podcast promoter. What's up, girl? How you doing? Nothing, sir. Cool. Where are you from? USA. Sir, do you want me to promote your podcast on Spotify playlist? Where are you at? In which country do you mean to promote your podcast? Mostly on Earth, some on Mars. Or in which country do you want to promote your podcast? Or do you promote your podcast? Sir, are you kidding me? I never kid. So he had some good ones. A lot of terrorist ones, man. And then he was playing one of my games where he was just repeating everything that they would say back to him, which is fun to do because they keep responding to it, So TJ hijacked my favorite subject. I think I responded to one of them since last week. Right. It just, once he started going, some of them were funny. Some of them I was worried we are truly going to be a target of theirs now, If they were angry, if they wanted a target, he's putting one on her back. I thought I was trying to be fun with them,
Yeah.
So, and some of it he did, that Metallica one got me. As soon as I started reading that one, because it was coming through and it would pop up another one. And I'm like,
yeah, when I realized it was song lyrics.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Well, that's what I kind of thought. We had talked about maybe like doing some Taylor Swift lyrics or something like that, and seeing if they got that. Plus,
does
Taylor Swift sales from
does Brittany know that you're a Swiftie?
I'm not a Swiftie. This is a TJ thing.
Oh.
I would not do the lyric. If I was going to do lyrics, we know the only lyric I would do is Vanilla Ice. I mean, I do all his songs, but I would only do Ice lyrics,
Oh, Brittany's going to be so mad at you.
Well, I won't. I mean, I'll sing her songs, but I don't want to. I'll never give her love music to somebody but her. I mean, I do respond to her on Instagram all the time with just verses from her songs, I know that you're toxic, baby, and things like that,
Right.
But I can be your antiseptic. I don't know. That's not one of her lyrics.
Gross.
You got any other stories you want to do?
Well, it's probably better than listening to you talking about licking wounds.
NBA Finals, if you did come here for an update, 2-0 Celtics over the Mavs. I think we're going to have a sweep, but that's just me saying that. I figured the odd silence. News with Skinman.
Job description didn't say there'd be peacocks.
Been there 100 times.
Animal control officers in Michigan struggle to capture elusive peacock. In Michigan?
Exactly. No, what exactly? You took the job, a wild game, or pet animal control in Michigan. Never.
It's even Senegal.
Okay.
Much like the hit country song. Animal control officers in Michigan are struggling to capture an elusive peacock that has been on the loose for at least 2 days.
Have you ever tried to catch a peacock?
No.
They're slippery.
Well, they stink.
Oh God,
So-
I hate peacocks.
What would you do after you caught it other than wash your hands?
What bird do you hate more than a peacock? Just throwing it out there.
Horn-winged goose.
Okay, I do hate geese. I do hate geese. Sorry, guys. Sorry, PETA. I know I was your number one fan until I started eating chicken and hating geese and peacocks. Peacocks are up there with freaking kangaroos. They're just dicks.
Right.
Just dicks.
Just
majestic looking creatures that are just dicks. Freaking kangaroo walk up, punch in the mouth. Freaking peacocks, hard to catch,
This week on Assholes of the Nature.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, man. I've started to change my stance on animals lately.
A student discovered the peacock on Monday as he was driving into Valley Lutheran High School in Saginaw County in Saginaw, Michigan.
I think it's Saginaw, but maybe it is Saginaw.
It's Saginaw.
I know you're. And
The director of the Saginaw County Animal Care and Control Center said the student decided to bring the peacock with him to school and try to find the owner, but the peacock got away.
class, a tale is as long as the day is. It happens all the time. What would you do if you found a peacock? Would you
just keep driving?
Yeah, same.
Like, hey, look, there it is.
Stop, Dad! There's a peacock.
But the center is now seeking donations to buy a $150 animal capture net.
The city can't come up with 150. Dude,
Right?
we could be a hero if we could be a sponsor for the town, the middle of the road. If you change the name for 1 month to the middle of the road, whatever, Michigan, we will fucking buy your net. Okay? Somebody in Michigan, my people.
So, animal control.
Damn microphone!
Animal control did not have a net.
That's why they couldn't catch
They're
it.
just using welding gloves.
I wonder how. Maybe they had a net. How big a fucking net would? But how are you not smart enough to get like a tarp? Tie some rope around those little holes in the tarp and probably turn that into some sort of net. Right?
Sounds like something off the Red Green show.
Well, he's a great man.
Yeah.
He taught me a lot of things about life, how to live. We could set up one of those sling traps for it out of a tarp too, bro.
Yeah.
We just get one dude up in a tree. We get people tarps all over. You got to jump from tree to tree. Oh, there's better ways to do it. I get it.
No, just set up a snare. They have trees in Michigan.
They do. Okay. I didn't know. I wasn't sure. I'm not familiar with the landscape up
just
there.
snatch them up in a bear trap.
We just did a podcast a couple weeks ago. I do. It's called Art Assault Podcast. I filled in for the normal co-host, and we had a guest on, and she's not normally from there, but she has a property in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And I mean, I've never heard the word Upper Peninsula quite so many times. She was
the uppers.
Yeah, and then I'd seen a video from another close show friend, Gus Glasser, and he was in the Upper Peninsula. And shout out to Gus. He just got done headlining a festival in Vail, Colorado. So that's kind of a big deal for a performer, I think. I don't know what kind of festival it was, just seeing his journey. So congrats, man. I'm glad we could help make you famous here on the middle. No, we didn't.
So the end of the story is citizens have been trying to capture the bird as well, to no avail. The identity of the peacock's owner remains a mystery.
Because they don't want to know. They let it go because they realize that the peacock's an asshole.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like having a monkey, I think. Like, it's cool at first, and then it tries to rip your face off.
It's like, nope, no peacocks here.
Mm-mm. Yeah, what's that big cage you have out back that says Polly the Peacock? Nothing? That's just a shed, my man shed?
That is the name of my puma.
Yep. You want to go check it out? Yeah, I wouldn't either because I let it go, too. I let it go to try to kill the fucking peacock, okay? All right? Do you want to know the truth? And it didn't work because guess what? Now I got a dead puma and a freaking live peacock. So I got rid of the peacock, okay? I used to have 2 tigers, and then I put the 2 tigers in the cage with the peacock. I wake up in the morning, and I got a freaking tiger rug and a tiger couch and a peacock still. And I just don't get it. So
Hey, good news. They just found your peacock. They're bringing it right over.
Fuck. Did I say I was lying? This was a made-up story. I never had a puma. I never had a peacock.
I'm just glad we found the owner.
Shit. How'd they catch it? Did that fucking podcast donate that net? That stupid podcast from Kansas?
Well, someone had a great idea for a tarp.
Ooh. They listened to the tarp net idea.
Yeah.
Okay. They must have, I bet they heard about that on the Red Green show or some stupid shit like that.
No, it was actually a podcast talking about Red Green show.
Stupid. Cancel them both. I don't know. Had fun. Always do when it's me and Skin Man. It's kind of our, we do more news. I did kind of have intentions of doing a lot of other things, and I often do, and then I start talking about running races and not being able to finish them and things like that, and then we find ourselves. But we were going to open up MSN homepage. Used to be a little thing we did to start out almost every show. This week, things you missed is Lauren Boebert suffers legal loss. NBC told NBC's News, Todd says Hunter verdict a big blow to Trump. I don't get that because he didn't really get very much. I don't know. And also, well, I guess I take that back. He did get guilty on everything, and they were trying to say there's not equal justice or whatever, and his son got busted and Trump all in the same couple weeks. So I think they're trying to spin that one. In other news, Trump's just as powerful as he was before he got convicted, and it doesn't matter, and 47 awaits. Elon Musk says he will ban iPhone and other Apple devices. I'm assuming in his complexes, but I don't know that. What else did we miss? Oprah Winfrey, 70, hospitalized. It was a very serious thing. I had to get a mole removed. I hate to open up the story and find out that's what it really is. And that's about it. Republicans take aim at Trump, convicted felon comment in the hearing. So we didn't miss much on MSN. Sometimes better. Evangelical Texas pastor Tony Evans steps down from the church due to unnamed sin. What do you think it is? It's unnamed, so we couldn't even open the story. Those are the worst ones. You read a story to find out something and don't find out anything.
Oh, it's the mystery sin.
It's like
it's so bad it's not even spoken of.
it's obviously sex, stealing, or sex. Right? Are those the only things you step down for?
I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, like, in most scandals, you can get away with maybe a murder, but probably involving an ex-sexual partner. Or
yeah, he got away with murder, and he can't be in front of a microphone because he just really wants to tell somebody.
Oh yeah,
about
dude.
it.
Man, in the name of the Lord, I murdered that mother. Oh. All right, we made it an hour. You thought we couldn't do it. If you stayed along with us, congratulations. We appreciate it.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. All men and women created by you know the thing.
Our country is in serious trouble.
A black man with a funny name. And your mother was begging Barack to stop.
How'd you think the show was?
I thought it was terrific. It was clean. It was nice.
Well, what do you think about that last segment?
That was really a productive segment, wasn't it?
All right. Thanks, guys. That's all the validation I needed.